Hi, everybody. It's the Me and My Boyfriend Nicole podcast. I'm Aurora.
And I'm the boyfriend, Nicole.
Yay! And Nicole and I are back in the same room again this week.
The podcast room.
The podcast room.
Where dreams are made into reality.
Yeah.
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 And today, we are talking about living in your lollipop land.
Lollipop, Candyland,
Woo!
whatever you want to call it.
Exactly.
Dream weaver, world builder.
Let
You're
the
in
magic
charge.
happen.
Let the magic happen.
Yes. What would your world look like if you loved you? And everything about you and everything around you. If you believed in the power of your own life and soul and heart and mind, and that you love and respect yourself enough to purposely choose who and what you allow in your life, how beautiful would it look? And treat yourself as good or better than you treat anybody else.
Better.
Better. Yes.
Better.
Right? So many times we've talked about it. We give everything to everybody else. We only give them the best of ourselves. But to ourselves, we are so mean.
We slack off.
Well, not even slacking off. We're so hard on ourselves, but we give everybody else, a break. Or say, well, maybe they're having a bad day, or, whatever it is. But then with ourselves, we're so critical. And then we attract what we're putting out.
Yeah.
So if we are so critical on ourselves, and then we're shocked that all the people that we have surrounded ourselves with, or all the different aspects of ourselves, out there, is so critical. And we're like, why everybody beating up on us? Because we beat up on us. So if we flip that, and we truly love our ooey gooey selves, every part of ourselves, the fun, sparkliest parts, the vulnerable, emotional parts, the wild, crazy parts, the sensual, sexy parts, If we truly love the beautiful mess and chaos and just joy and gummy bear part of ourselves, what would our world look like? Would we love our world as much as that? Like our personal area, our personal selves. And so this came up for us because we both love in life right now.
Yeah, we were talking about how happy we were. And I feel like it goes through phases, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where we're like, I love my life. And then we're like, gosh, damn, I just need some shit to work out right now.
Right? But we created that, too.
Yeah, for sure.
And realizing that it's this amazing, beautiful thing. It's one of those things you hear all the time, that you make your life what it is. But to truly experience that and to realize that you manifest everything, and that one thing is, there ain't nothing wrong with that. It's okay. You're going to go through phases. You're going to go through growth. You're going to go through setbacks. But everything puts you on the path to where you're supposed to be. Everything has a purpose in your life. And that when you get there, when you hit those moments where you're like, whoa, you wake up and you're like, what is that? Oh my goodness, am I happy?
What is this strange feeling?
Right? And then you're cataloging, you're looking, you're like, well, let me see, the people in my life, my job, my home, my everything. I love it all. I love it all. And guess what? I don't have no fear about it. I'm not going, oh, you can only be this happy.
Yeah.
So don't get too excited.
I have not had those thoughts.
Me either.
Which is, I don't want to say not like me, but like usually I'm like, all right, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. What's going to come in and fuck this up, right? It's like I haven't had those like intrusive thoughts. But I also have taken a different mentality of like, oh, I am my world builder. Like, in the sense of, and I feel like I've said this to you, at what point is it just me? Like, where I'm surrounding myself with these, like, things or people or instances and moments where I'm like, I'm allowing those things in my life, so I have to take responsibility for who I'm building, like, who I'm letting build in my world. And it's like, oh, well, when you really let only positive people in your life, you'd be surprised how much happier you are.
Well, there's something you just said that really hit me. Who am I building?
Mm-hmm.
As in,
like
yourself.
I'm building myself.
Yes.
I'm building my surroundings. Like
your life.
Mm-hmm.
And what meaning do you want to have in your life?
Yeah, life is just a series of choices. Like legitimately,
it is, and there's no wrong choice.
No, it's literally it's infinite almost where you can take your life. It's like you saying yes here and you saying no there, and then
right.
You know?
And when things happen, you know, that you are like, ooh, I don't like this. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because then you know what you don't want.
Yes.
You know what you don't want to feel like. Like, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That's a aha moment. And giving your life direction and meaning. And you're like, okay, I don't like that. What do I like? And that's so beautiful. It's like walking into a candy store and you can have anything you want. And it's like, ooh, let me try a little bit of everything.
I like the gummies. I like the chocolates. Ooh, the gummies and the chocolates together. Oh, shit.
Girl, sometimes I want some Mexican candy, okay?
Girl, a little bit
spicy,
spicy,
little
with a
sweet,
chocolate,
little sour. Yes.
Fuck me up.
And that's okay. And sometimes I want a pinata. I just want to smack the shit out of it and see what
pops
out.
Falls out. And you're like, close enough.
Right. Let me dig through it and see what I do want to keep. Yeah.
Girl, I have a funny pinata story. Okay, so I was at my friend's house. She wanted a pinata for her birthday party, and we were all like 18, smacking the shit out of this pinata like we were 5 years old. And we were like, oh shit, I haven't swung a bat at a pinata in years. Girl, I was sitting there talking to her mom. My friend hit that pinata so freaking hard. A piece of candy like full on torpedoed towards me, smacked me right in the middle of my forehead. I was like, good.
That was a wake up call.
Like full on. Right. Like, I've been shot. It was
sometimes it feels like that.
I was like, hot damn.
I asked for it, it came to me. Yeah.
That gumball was real.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like life does that to me.
You think? I think it does it to all of us. Smack you right in the face. You said you wanted it. You're like, oh, I didn't want it like that. Like,
my bad.
Right? Take to the face.
Stop talking about me in the bedroom.
You ever feel like you get dick slapped by life? It happens.
It happens. Ever feel like someone's just flicking you in the dick?
Right.
Not that I have a dick. Not that I know what that feels like. I'm just saying.
Or the strap on. No.
Too soon. Too soon.
No, but that's the way life happens. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful when you truly love who you are. And even if you're not to that point yet, if you can just truly see that everything is going to be okay. Like, no matter how bad one moment is, it doesn't define your life. You define your life.
Yeah.
You know? Whether it's losing a job, as so many of us have in this last year. Both of us included, you know? 2020. Woo! Woo! The STD that don't go away. No.
The herpes of life.
Yes. No. But, you know, to get that, or to lose people, you know, or to get people you thought you wanted, and you was like, oh, no, you know, like all those kind of things. It may be a defining moment in your life in a positive way as to going, thank you, universe. I needed to see that, or I didn't need that in my life. Thank you for taking that away. And realizing that one moment, that one person, that one thing does not define your whole life. It's just saying it's time for the next chapter. Yes. You know? It's like when you get uncomfortable, like those are those growth moments, right? And you can either learn from them. You have to learn from life's moments. That is something that I don't think people talk about. That you have to learn how to live life. It is not something that's like hardwired in, and you have to like you instinctually know how to go through. Like, everybody is faking it, like legitimately. Everybody. When I figured that out as an adult, I was like, damn, that makes me feel so much better. Right? It's like, fuck. We're all on Google trying to figure this shit out. Good. Right? All on Candy Crush going, oh, what's crushing me today? Yeah. It's like, oh, it's like a humanizing experience. And like, you have to figure out what works for you. Like, things that work for me don't work for you. Or like, you find that
person who's a positive person in your life, like, oh, they're teaching me something. Like, I feel like I've taught you, like, today, y'all, it was beautiful. We were talking about what we wanted to talk about for the podcast, and Nicole said, and I quote, I need a piece of paper and a pen so I can write my ideas down. And I could have cried.
You got so happy.
I was like, really?
I was planning something.
I was so happy.
I'm very spontaneous, y'all. If you didn't already know, and I don't like my creativity to be squashed, and so I'm like, I don't want to plan stuff out too much because I like to be organic, as Cherie says.
Yeah, this
and
was
be in the moment.
I don't want to say a point of contention, but like one of the moments, like in the early beginnings of the podcast,
it was contention for Aurora. She's like, we need direction. We need to know where we're going, and I'm like, no, I just need to see what happens.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, I do want to kind of like
a little bit of structure.
Well, not just structure. I want to make sure that I'm hitting the points that we really feel is important, and that I have a tendency to be like squirrel, like woo, ADD kicks in, and then I'm like, where were we at? And you're like, yo, can we get back on topic? And I'm like, what was the topic?
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
So now I'm like, it's always been important to me, but it really is like we're growing our baby, you know, with this podcast and show and everything else, and so I want to make sure that I'm being adult and, you know, and also giving you what you need.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's
because
part of
I care
my
about
work.
you. You're a priority for me.
And I feel like I've done a lot to meet you in the middle of like
100%. Your OCD has met my ADD.
Yeah, and we have come together on this.
Woo woo!
Because Aurora is like, let's just get in, get to it, let's go.
Yes, you're like somebody who's like, let's fuck. Let's just get in there, get it done. Ooh, tag team, high five. Let's go on with life.
Where's the condoms?
Right?
Let's
And I'm like, don't want to get a little foreplay?
little foreplay, little
Can we get
candles.
Yes, right? What happens to romance?
Some moonlight.
Right, let's just see what happens. Maybe it'll be freaky, maybe it's love, and maybe it's both. All right? And you're like, feelings and emotions. Here we go. Like, but it's working.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
And we're
Beautiful
learning,
love.
right? We're learning from each other.
Yeah.
And you know, we always have to have this moment. I love you. I love you, Aurora. Look me in my eyes. No. But, ooh, she's looking at me. Ooh, it's deep. Okay, you can stop now. No, but, stop. It's making my nipples hard.
There it goes. It's like, okay. Your nipples hard.
You did. Okay, let's rub it out. Okay, so anyway, no, but, like I was telling you, I feel so good having you as, oh, God, the first thing that popped in my head was my voice of reason. Just stop. No, but, for me, it's like you and I are just enough opposite that we get different things from each other, but then also so much the same that the things that we hold dear and important in life,
like, always line up.
Yes, like for me, and I feel like it's the same for you. By all means, tell me if it's not. But the thing that motivates me in life is love. Yeah. Love is what always motivates me. Love for myself, love for my people, love for the world, love. You know, and we had talked about this before. We could bring this in, and the fact that it's not money for me. It's not stuff. We all need to be able to make it in life, financially, emotionally, everything. And money is a part of that. And money is not a bad thing. Okay, let's understand that money is not a bad thing. But for me, money can't be a motivator. Like, let's say for work, because I need to love what I'm doing. And a lot of times more is less.
Yes.
Or less is more. Excuse me.
Yes, I knew what you meant.
That I may be making less money, but then getting more emotional gratification.
You know what? There is something to be said. I think I agree with that Floridian slip of more is less. So you are making more money, technically.
Deep.
But you are less fulfilled emotionally, spiritually, mentally.
So it goes both ways.
So it does go both ways. You know, both apply to everything, really. Like, because, I mean, when I was doing the job searching thing, I'm like, oh, yeah, I've got jobs that want me, but I turn them down because I'm like, I don't really want to do that. You know, I could be making money, but I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. I'm at this job. Technically, I could be making more money somewhere, but I just really enjoy what I do. So I'm like, the money doesn't really matter. Now, granted, I be working that overtime. I be making that paper, bitch.
You do.
I be putting in that work. But I'm just saying.
Right?
But I don't take this job home which I should take this job that I'm working home. This should be the job that I take home, right?
You would think so.
You would think so. I took Gap home more than I take this job home. And that was just jeans and t-shirts.
Right? And you know why? One of the reasons I think that it is different for you is because you are living in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a job, it's where you're at in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And so when something comes up at work for you now, you handle it right then, whatever it is. And you also know that every single moment you spend there and every day that you're there, you're making a difference in your life and someone else's. And so it has so much more fulfillment and a deeper purpose that fills your soul and your heart, to where when you walk away, no matter how the day was, you know you left it better than when you showed up.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel evil. Like, I felt like working for Gap. I'm not talking bad about Gap when I say this. I'm just saying, like...
No, because she still shopped there.
Yeah,
Gap and Old Navy. It still filled her closet and her life. She loves it.
But it's like, sometimes I felt like I was working for this, like, evil corporation. Like, the hippie in me was like, I'm working towards capitalism and consumerism. And, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm part of that problem. And that's what I hate about life, you know? Like, that mentality of, like, I need things, fill my life with things. And I'm like... I felt like I was a cog in that machine. I didn't really like that feeling.
Which reminds me of one of my favorite movies, Fight Club. Right? And one of my favorite quotes, Brad Pitt, whatever, talking about being real careful, because the things you own end up owning you.
Yeah, they do.
You know? And that's literally and figuratively, peoples. But the whole thing of that less is more. You know, like how we both, and I think a lot of people in the world have really looked through their life, you know, emotionally, people-wise, fulfillment, heart, love, but also stuff.
Yeah.
When we was all stuck at home.
We were like, damn.
And stuck in our environment, we all had to start looking around, you know, and we're like, ooh, I do not need all this. Or I have all this.
I hate all this
I
stuff.
hate all this stuff. Yeah, well, why am I keeping it? Nothing fits right, whether it fits me emotionally or physically, you know? Like, it's not really adding anything. It doesn't make me feel good. And then we like, I know for me and you, like, I purposely went through every single thing, and I'm like, does this bring me joy?
Yeah.
You know, do I feel good in it? Do I put it on?
And I'm like, ooh.
Ooh. Do I listen to it? Do I watch it? Do I see it and it makes me feel good? Or does it have something, it doesn't even mean the object, but what does it mean to me? Like, does it have something from the past that I don't like attached to it? And it's like, it's a lovely thing, but it's time for me to pass it on to someone else who can make new emotions with it.
Right.
Because it's not working for me. Whether it's a record, you know, or whether it's a piece of clothing, you know, and it's cleared up my life, my aura so much, and it's made me so much more purposeful in so many ways, from what I am spending financially, which makes me more financially responsible and not just spending sprees, which I think we've all done, you know, but also, does it fit into my life? Like, when I bring it into my home, what's it going to do? And if I bring something into my home, I got to get rid of something else, you know, like just being consciously aware in everything that I do, but not so much where it's overwhelming. It's like, am I making the right choice? But just loving the choices I'm making and how it's changed my life. Like, we were talking this morning and I'm like, I love everything about my life right now.
Yeah.
Like, usually there's always a part where
you're like,
you know,
oh, I could work on this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And not saying we are done building ourselves or our life, but it's like right now we are very content with this moment.
More than content.
Well, yeah, but it's like one of those things of like, very rarely does that ever happen.
Yes. Just checking in.
Yeah.
Checking in with yourself. And you're going to say you never...
Oh, I never really did that before. There was always something I'm like, you know, I don't like this. And I'm like, yeah, I still have stuff that I personally want to work on. I know you do too. But it's like, wow, like I'm actually really happy with where I am. And I'm like, dude, like I can go up from here. Like,
it's the first time in my life where I totally 100% felt in control of my life, my destiny, my purpose, my heart, my soul, and what direction my life is taking. Like, totally felt in control in a beautiful, powerful way. And just like felt like I was glowing. I'm just like, ooh,
feel myself.
Candyland, feel real good right now. Like, ooh, yes, I just love it all.
Yeah, I hearken it to like when you, I don't know any painters will know what I'm talking about. When you're painting something, right, you put all the colors on your palette that you feel like you're going to use. And you just do a little bit. Just like a little, You know, that's where you start from. And then when you're mixing new colors, you just take a little bit from here and a little bit from there. And you don't go big on, I'm going to add black to everything. But it's like, you add like a drop of black. And I feel like that's kind of what we've been doing is like, I'm going to add a little bit here. I'm going to take a little bit from you. I'm going to do this. Like, we're just like painting this beautiful like landscape. And it's going to be a Bob Ross moment. And we're like, damn, Zoll. Look at
the tree.
Look at that happy little tree. Like, and it's like, wow, like I painted that. Like, that's fucking awesome. I'm dope.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it doesn't in any way mean that we're done.
No.
Not at all. But it's like, I have my foundation now, you know? And it's like, it's good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have anything to worry about. And we're just adding to it.
The rock bed is solid.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm at that point where I'm thankful for every single thing that I've ever been through. Every single thing that has come before this moment. Because it brought me here. And I am so fucking happy. So fucking happy. Like where my heart, my titties, and my pussy's like, woohoo! Like, I'm so happy to be here. That whatever came before this, it is A-okay. Like, it is awesome. I'm so happy for it. Because it has brought me to where I need to be at in my life, right here with you right now, with my children, with my job, with the podcast, just everything down to my home, myself. Like, I just love me.
Aww.
I just love life. Like, I'm just so happy. And I'm like, I'm so excited to see what today brings. You know, and not worrying about tomorrow. I'm excited about tomorrow. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited about next weekend already. Don't get me wrong. However, I'm so happy in this yummy gummy bear, sweet lollipop land moment. You know? And it just feels good.
I got a peek into a little moment that y'all aren't privy to. But there was a word, and I was like, oh, I know what you're thinking about. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not saying anything.
No, but just happy.
Yeah.
What about you, Mama?
Girl, I was just thinking about, like, I've been really honest lately. Like, really honest. With you especially, of like, yeah, I did that shit because I was bored. Like,
she be fucking around because she bored.
Yeah.
And what did I say? That means either you waiting for something that you've had before to come back, right? Or it's time to move on and do something new. Because when you start getting bored and fucking around with whatever in life.
It was a growth moment. I was like, oh.
That tells you what we doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, it was an eye-opening moment. I was like, oh, Aurora's moved past that. That's really nice to know. Good to know. Okay, cool.
And not beating ourselves up. We're going, oh, that was fun. We need to add some new spice.
And then that's all I want to say.
That's evil laugh. That evil laugh. That evil laugh. Let me just tell her eyes are glowing. She's like, I am the queen.
Oh man.
The queen of hearts.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like a new experience and really heartwarming. To be, when I say content, that is a meaningful word for me personally, because I always feel like I'm like searching for like the next thing, the next feeling. Like, I don't ever let myself just be content with something. It's always like, oh, but I could be doing better, or I could be doing this, or I should be doing this. So when I say content, like, that word means a lot to me. Of like, I don't have to search for anything. Like, this is the first time where I'm not always like looking for the next thing that's gonna happen.
You're just enjoying this moment of what's happening. There's something else that we talked about too, where it was one of those moments for me. I was like, oh, where you say something and you're like, oh, damn, that was deep. That was something deep inside me. My inner child screaming it out or something. Where I said, I don't want to be subject matter for somebody else's life. I want to matter. Yeah. In my life, where it's like, I want to be the center of my world. And be the sun, being that Leo, I always gotta bring that in. You the Leo, you are the sun, honey. Shine, baby, shine.
Hey, just let Christina Yang speak to you. When she was like, Meredith, you are the sun.
I know, Christina. But it's like, I am such a person where I don't know how to love half-heartedly. I don't know how to give half-heartedly. If you with me, we ride or die, and I'm going to give you everything I got.
Yeah.
And have no expectations for anything in return. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, what about me, though?
Yeah.
What about me, though? And not in a, I expect anything from you.
No.
But I have expectations for myself that we are only going to do what feels good.
Yes.
Right? And we have standards now and boundaries and how healthy that is. And how we only want the best for us. Like, I only want the best for myself and how good that feels. And it's nothing against anybody else.
No.
Because it's not about anybody else. It's about me and loving me and knowing that I'm worth it for myself. And so when you love yourself, everything else changes.
Yes.
Because your whole taste, your palate in life changes.
You don't allow the bad tasting foods anymore.
No,
or the...
you ain't gonna you're not gonna allow yourself to settle for microwave macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, you're like, girl, I could go to the store and make my own macaroni and cheese with the good cheese, girl. I picked up that gourmet section. Put the little breadcrumbs on top, and you're like,
don't be bringing me your fast food, honey.
And not to talk shit, but girl, when you could have homemade, why have craft? Like,
yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there's a time and place for Kraft mac and cheese.
Right. But we've moved up to what you feeding mama. Right? Right?
Yeah.
I want to feel and taste and experience only the best. Bring your real or move your fucking ass on, Give it to me deep.
How deep we talking?
What's the time of day?
Ooh, you nasty. And you know why.
No, but it just feels good. It feels good to just ride that out.
Ride with me.
Oh,
God.
Ride a horse when you can ride a cowboy. Is that someone
wrote
that?
Ride a cowboy. Save a horse. Ride a cowboy. Something like that. Yeah. Big and rich.
Oh.
That's how we live it now. Big and rich time.
Oh, we is. No, but how are you doing today? Checking in with yourself. How are you feeling today? Does everything feel good? Does something feel a little off? Allowing yourself to feel that, and just take a moment and say, why does it feel off? Is it just the moment today? Or do I always feel that way with this one thing? Do
you feel consistently like something's not quite aligning? Ask yourself, like, that's another thing that I think we've started doing is like asking yourself, like, does this like line up with my dream? Does this line up with my morals? Like, what is this adding to my life? Is this adding or is this taking away? Like,
does it feel good?
Does it feel good?
Or does it not feel good? Why
does it feel good? I think the why is important too. Is it because it's convenient that it feels good? Or do you actually enjoy it? Like, convenience is a big part of life. I think as humans, we kind of naturally gravitate towards what's convenient.
What's easy.
I'm guilty of it. Shit.
Right. We all have stuff we lazy about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And there ain't nothing wrong with that either.
No.
But you need to make sure, is that something that fulfills you? Is that something bringing you to where you want to be at in life? Is it on the right path for you? Or is it just that you haven't allowed yourself to dream of more? Or you haven't really invested in that because you was having to take care of everything else. Yeah. And now you actually have the time and the moment in your life where you can look at this and explore more. You're at a safe place or at a stable place. Yeah. Stable ain't bad. We've learned that.
We've talked about stability.
Stability can be sexy. Consistency can be really sexy. But let's also understand that when you ask them for consistency, it could be consistently bad.
Yeah,
you know?
well, we've been there too. Consistently on that bullshit.
No. But yeah, like, love yourself, literally and physically, right? But yeah, just enjoy your life, your love, your heart.
Did you ever watch Ren and Stimpy?
Of course.
Of course you did, yeah. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy. Like, that's one of those things, like, yes, 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 yes.
Right? And also Family Guy. Peanut butter jelly time.
Peanut butter jelly time. Now, where he at? Where he at? Where he at? There he go. There he go.
Yo, yo.
I promise y'all, we haven't been drinking.
Not at all. We're on coffee, water, and I had some rice bowl for breakfast.
I had some gummy bears.
Vegan gummy bears.
I'm high on life.
Right? It was that green one that got you.
I bit the heads off of the last two. That lets you know what kind of mindset I'm in.
Ooh. Are you hungry for some head? What? Should have took that drink then. Don't chocolate in that water. Was that fulfilling? Did it wet your palate? And she's blocking me. She's choking on her drink.
You wrong for that.
They said we weren't checking on no kids. Okay, anyway. It's still early.
It's a little too early in the day for that. Plus you're here, so.
I appreciate that.
Wait. Is it 9:15 yet? Oh, it's past 9:15.
It's officially over.
It's officially over.
On that note, we love you. I hope you loving you.
Build that world, baby.
Right?
Minecraft that shit.
Ooh, right? Where's your Candyland? Are you on Chutes and Ladders? Are we still on that? Where we up and down, up and down? That's okay.
Or
Ain't nothing
Mousetrap.
wrong. Or Mousetrap. Ooh, my kitty gonna trap you. Burr. No, what? Oops, that was a little much.
Meow.
Right?
Where's Fergus?
Anyway.
Any hoozles.
Ooh, got a little excited there.
Yeah, you went into your own little dreamland. She just went into her own Candyland, y'all. And you could just see the flickers,
You got something I can suck on.
Ew.
Ooh, daddy. Okay. Anyway.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Daddy. How you doing?
It's not an episode until we say hi.
I know, right? Ooh.
What?
Ooh.
What?
Rhea.
Oh, hopefully it's okay. Let's shout out to the biggest fan in the game, Miss Rhea. She's awesome. We love her.
We love you, super fan, super person, super woman.
Shout out.
Yes, we love you. Mwah. Want to be you.
Yep.
Okay.
Any hoozles.
Anyway, I love you. Sparkling unicorn.
Have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to some strangers. Enjoy yourself.
Right? Swipe, baby, swipe. Okay. Candy yum yum. All right. Peace out. What?
Oh. And
like and subscribe.
But also let me give you a clue in. Treat yourself to some plum wine, sweetheart.
Oh.
Do that. Do that for yourself this week.
Yes. Plum it up. It's so
Plum
good.
that wine up.
Ooh.
With some caramel.
Yes. Love you.
Love you. Bye.